Sunday Guardian exclusive. How Pakistan is using chemical weapons and gassing its own people. Have a look at the story. We're coming back for a debate after this.
Skin and hair burned beyond repair, skin peeled off, revealing raw flesh. Large blisters, unbearable scarring on the skin, lives shortened and scarred forever. This is the deepest, darkest and most brutal secret of Pakistan. A nation which thinks nothing about gassing its own citizens who dare to ask for the right to govern their own destiny.
It's chemical weapons because of which they are getting these blisters and these severe skin infections. It was only then that this whole thing we get to know about it. Okay, fine, so these people are victims of chemical weapons which allegedly have been used by Pakistan Army. According to a 2014 WHO report, there were approximately 950,000 such internally displaced people who were living in Bannu.
Pakistan has been using chemical weapons since long in Waziristan and other tribal agencies. It has been about 10 years that they are doing it since they started their first operation against the so-called terrorism in the tribal agencies. Many people have, of course, killed by the use of the chemical weapons.
Whether it's the Pashtuns, the Balochistanis or the Kashmiris of POK, the message is clear. Rebel against the state and you will be crushed using every possible means at their disposal.
By passing resolution is not sufficient. What I believe, they should take some concrete action. What I believe, they should take some concrete action against the Pakistani army. Only then, it will stop such activities. Otherwise, it will continue.
I think the high time has come for Afghanistan and Iran as well to come up and file a suit in the International Court of Justice and take Pakistan to the court and bring them to justice.
I'm sure Nawaz Sharif will reconsider because it does not harm or kill your enemies, but it kills yourself as well.
We never got such strong, clear statements from Afghanistan, understandably, because they have to live with their neighbor. But now that they are making this statement, I think the position becomes clear to the world.
The state is missing and the non-state actors are actually dictating Pakistan's policies. Enough information is available for the world community to get together, get their acts together and put pressure on Pakistan.
Like the Nazis in Saddam, Pakistan is gassing its own. With undeniable photo proof emerging of Pakistan's chemical wars, is it time for Nawaz to face the war crime trial? This is a NewsX Sunday Guardian World exclusive.
The Nazis did it, Saddam Hussein did it, and now Pakistan is gassing its own people. We've got the pictures for the first time on world television. The Pakistani army using chemical weapons on Pashtun civilians in Waziristan and parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. These are areas dominated by Pashtuns. The Pashtuns have been demanding an independent Pashtunistan. There have also been reports that the Pakistani army has been using poison gas in Balochistan against the Baloch people who also want an independent Balochistan. We have a top-class lineup to discuss this debate, this shocking story. Umar, Daud, Khatak, Pashtun separatist leaders in the studio with me. Tariq Fatah, prominent author, is also in the studio. Retired Major General Gaurav is a defense expert, also in the studio with us. Seshadri Chari, member of the BJP, is joining us from Mumbai. Professor Madhav Narapad, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, is also in Mumbai. Sultan Ali, Pakistani strategic expert, is on Skype with us from Pakistan. The pictures we are showing you over there, the pictures of Jamshed and his family, were taken around February last year. We've blurred them because the pictures are very terrible, they are horrible. I've seen the pictures, the skin is coming off, you can almost see the inside. I think that's suffice to say. It's sickening and very, very sad. And let me begin by going to Sultan Ali in Pakistan. Mr. Sultan Ali, the Pakistani army should be absolutely ashamed with what they're doing inside these areas, Pashtun areas, on the western side of Pakistan. I mean, this is criminal. It's absolutely criminal, Mr. Sultan Ali.
Yes, it is criminal, but do you have a question?
We can't hear you very well. Can you raise the phone back over here? Mrs. Sultan
Do
Ali.
you have a question? Yes, it is criminal, but do you have a question? Ask it.
Mrs. Sultan Ali, I think the question is obvious. I'm saying the Pakistani are behaving like thugs and goons and criminals inside these areas in Waziristan and Pakhtunkhwa. What do you want to say about that? That's the question.
Okay, what I would like to say is, first of
Yeah.
all, I must commend you on your use of superlatives like goons, thugs, and
Have you
whatnot.
seen the pictures? If you see the pictures, they're actually worse words which should be unparliamentary and not television-like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing very clear. What
Yeah.
Pakistan has done is that it has cracked down upon the terrorists who were wreaking terror all over Pakistan. 70,000 Pakistanis
Hello,
have been
Mr.
killed.
Sultan
And-
Ali.
and-
I don't think you've seen the pictures. You mean the
Yes,
young
I've seen the
girl, the
pictures.
family,
I've
the
seen the
young boy,
pictures.
the
I've
young
seen
girl
the
who might be
pictures.
about 10 or 15 years?
Will you allow
Are
me-
these
will
the
you-
hardcore
if you
terrorists
ask
you're
me for
talking
my
about?
comment-
Come on, Mr. Sultan
dear,
Ali.
If you
Stop being
ask
in
me for my
denial.
comment, allow me to speak. If you're
Stop
going to
defending
continue
the
to speak,
thugs and the
then this is
goons
not a
of
dialogue.
Pakistan.
Then this is a monologue. This is a monologue. Why don't you allow me to speak?
Yeah,
My
go
dear,
ahead,
what
go
Pakistan has
ahead,
done
go
is it
ahead.
has cracked down, but it has not used any of these chemical weapons. The pictures you're showing, you're saying they are blurred because they are fake. What we have done is that we have not only
Hello,
cracked
Mr.
down,
Sultan Ali, the blurred,
we have
the
stopped the
pictures were not
terrorists,
sent.
and you are
The
upset.
pictures were
You are
not sent
upset
to us,
because
but
half of
we
them
blurred
were
it
your
because we can't show it
agents.
to our viewers because they're so horrible.
Yes.
The skin
Yes,
is,
they are so
the
horrible.
skin of
Are
this
they as
family is
horrible?
not just peeling
Are they
off.
as horrible
You
as
can
the
almost
eyes
see the
you have
insides,
blinded
Mr. Ali.
in
Wake
Indian
up.
occupied Kashmir?
Your Pakistani
Yes, in
army
Quetta.
are
I've been in
thugs and
Quetta.
goons,
I
murderers
have
and
been all
criminals.
over Balochistan. My dear, your
Yeah.
stories are full of lies, and you're upset because half of these agents were your agents, and we have neutralized them.
I'll tell
And now
you.
you're
I'll
upset
tell
about
you.
it,
I'll
and you're
tell
coming
you.
up with such stories which are cooked up by you, by your studio, and by photoshopping them. So please stop fooling the world. Come up with the truth. The truth is that we have cracked down on
We've
terrorism.
got people from your
hard.
side of here, Mr. Sultan Ali. We've got people from your side of here. Umar Daud Khattak, you're a Pashtun leader. What would you want to say about these pictures?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. So these pictures are from Waziristan. This single family managed to escape to the nearby district Banu, and there are tens of such other families who have not been reported. And there is no...
Mr. Sultan Ali in Pakistan is saying these are fake pictures.
These are real pictures. I'm from that area. I'm Khattak and I'm from district Karak. I'm from Khyber Pashtunkkhwa. These pictures are real. We have done social media campaign for this family, and we have done fundraising for this. And Pakistan ISI have threatened those doctors who diagnosed the problem with these people, and they were not able to leak this information that they have used chemical weapons against.
This family is still inside Pakistan, right?
Yes, yes.
But in a safe area.
They are living with their relatives somewhere in Banu.
Mr. Sultan Ali,
the
did you
IDP
hear
camp,
that?
yeah.
These people are still
I
inside
hear that,
Pakistan.
but I would like to know how
I
much
mean, you
have you
people
paid
gas
this
your
man,
own people.
to support-
You people
how
gas
much
your
have
own
you paid
people.
this man to
The
support your
Nazis
story?
did it. Saddam Hussein did it. Your Pakistani army, the great Pakistani army, is in the great company of Saddam Hussein and the Nazis, Mr. Sultan Ali.
Yes, and what about the young Kashmiris whom you are blinding with pellet guns?
Actually, Sultan Ali
300,000 have been
admires both
blinded.
Hitler and Saddam.
Yeah, Tariq Fateh. Tariq Fateh is also one of your people. He's also from Pakistan. Yes, Mr. Tariq
No, I'm
Fateh.
sorry. He has denounced his country
I'm
and he's
no
gone to
longer a
Canada.
Pakistani,
We
I'm-
don't own him as a
Yeah,
Pakistani.
of course
Please
you don't.
do not disgrace the
No.
name of Pakistan by equating it with Tariq Fateh. He's not a Pakistani.
Of course I'm not. Of course I'm not. I'm born on the Indus River, and soon Sindh will be with
And
him.
you're a disgrace to Pakistan,
we are
Tariq
not
Fateh.
Pakistani.
There's no such thing as
You are a
Pakistan.
disgrace to Pakistan. So
There
don't
is
even
nothing.
Nation.
name
We are not
Pakistan as
We are
your
not
birthplace.
Pakistanis. Take
Because
your
we don't
Pakistan,
want you here.
take your Arab Pakistan
disgrace
and go
Pakistan.
to some desert somewhere in the Middle East and ask them for the right price. They'll buy you for that. But let me tell you
Yeah,
what
we are
exactly.
happy to be Pakistanis. We are proud to be Pakistanis.
Oh, yes.
Not a turncoat like you
Yeah,
who sells
let
his
me-
soul.
let me
like
educate
Mephisto,
the viewers.
Please sell it to the devil, Tariq Fateh.
You and your great Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who ran away with his friend's little daughter and committed
For
statutory
God's
rape.
sake, for God's
They
sake, Tariq
ordered the
Fateh.
first
We know all
genocide.
about you. You are a bootlicker. You are
Absolutely.
licking
Oh,
the
I
boot
love
for the
it. I
Canadians
love Indian
and now
soil.
the Indians.
I love Indian soil. Trust me.
Yeah,
you should
please
too.
do, please do.
Yeah,
I know
Punjab
how much
is
they pay
not
you for it.
Arabia. You Punjabis who have forgotten your own language and banned it,
You act as if you're some pedestrian Arabs sent over here to clean the toilets of the sheikhs. You need to understand, it is Muhammad Ali Jinnah who ordered the first massacre of Pashtuns in Barbara in 1947. You wouldn't even know where Barbara is. He collected 600 workers of Bacha Khan's red shirts and slaughtered them on the bank. You wouldn't know that because you found the 3 million Bangladeshis that you killed. You are quite happy with that. Your 100,000 soldiers who raped Bengali women, you live with that. You are murderers and genocide creators.
No, we are not murderers. You are a turncoat and you are for sale.
I love to be a turncoat. I'd rather be a prostitute in India than a miserable Arab bootlicker and toilet cleaner from Punjab, Pakistan. Shame on you. You don't even speak your own language. You're ashamed of that. Go and sell yourself to the Chinese, to the Americans, or the Saudis, to the highest bid.
All right, okay. Let's get the debate back on track now. Mr. Khattak, you have said, you've been quoted as saying the Pakistani army, in the name of fighting terrorists on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, have been inflicting cruelties on the Pashtuns over there. What is the Pakistani army doing over there, inside Pakistan?
So, can they name a single terrorist which they have killed in the past 15 years? A single low-profile terrorist? Do they have any such record? No.
No.
But they have killed 200,000 Pashtuns and they have displaced 2.5 million civilians. 500,000 in Afghanistan and 2 million in Khyber Pashtunkhwa. They are not allowing those IDPs to live with their relatives in Punjab and the main cities of Khyber Pashtunkhwa. And they are threatening those IDPs and killing those IDPs in camps and there is my
Professor Madhav Nalapa, this Sunday Guardian has broken the story today. Why is it that the Pakistani army and the ISI is gassing the Pashtuns inside Pakistan?
Fact, which is nearly 1 million people have moved from the Pakistan side of the border to the Afghanistan, to inside Afghanistan. And these are all Pashtuns. Now, why did they move? They didn't move because they were happy where they were in Pakistan. They moved because they were desperate. They moved because they were under attack. So I'd like our friends in Pakistan to explain why it is that nearly 1 million people have moved across the border over the past few years from Pakistan to Afghanistan. Why have they fled?
Our
Why have
friend
they
in
run
Pakistan
away?
is Mr.
Why have they gone
Sultan
in
Ali.
terror?
Mr. Sultan Ali to Professor Nalapa. Please answer him. Why have 1 million Pashtuns moved from Pakistan to Afghanistan if they're so happy over there?
I don't think that is true. Instead,
Nothing
there are 3 million Afghanis who are residing in Pakistan. Yes, they have been with us for the last 35 years. We have been hosting them, and in the garb of these camps in which the Afghans were housed, people were also practicing terrorism. And that is why now we have started weeding them out and we have started sending back those people.
Sultan Ali, you were milking them from the United States.
We were milking them. How
Yes.
we were milking them when we were feeding them for the last 35 years?
You did not have a penny to feed them.
Our economy has gone bankrupt by feeding these people.
Nothing. You were using the
for God's sake,
Pashtuns to get money from the Americans.
Don't close your eyes.
My eyes are very open.
35
I can
years,
speak my
35
language,
years we've housed
unlike
them.
you. I am a Punjabi,
language.
and I know what atrocities you have committed in the name of Pakistan in Bengal, Balochistan, and frontier, and Sindh.
All right. Let's get back to the pictures of this Baloch family, and which showing evidence. NewsX Sunday Guardian exclusive, how the Pakistani army and ISI is gassing its own people, specifically the Pashtuns inside Pakistan. Mr. Seshadri Chari from the ruling BJP is with us. Mr. Chari, how is the BJP and the government of India going to react to this?
You know, Jujar, this is a very serious matter. What is happening is extremely serious matter, and I think the government of India should take a very strong notice of what is happening there, because I'll tell you what is important is this is reminiscent of what happened in 1971.
Yes.
So this is nothing short of another genocide close on the western border. That time it was the eastern border, and now this time it is the western border. And all these talks about Afghan people staying in Pakistan, they are all actually refugees. And the present governor of Balochistan, who has been appointed straight by Islamabad, has pointedly told these Afghan refugees that if you don't go back on your own, you will be driven away. And they have been threatened. So Afghanistan has a huge problem. Iran has a very huge problem as far as Balochistan issue is concerned. And you don't forget one thing, in 1947, the British planned the creation of Pakistan because they wanted to keep United States.
We seem to have lost the video with Mr. Sishadi Chari. We'll try and rectify that. In the meantime, Major Gaurav Arya, the Pakistani army is targeting the Pashtuns in Fatah, Waziristan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. But there's another side of the story as well. They're targeting the Baloch people in Balochistan, using poison gas in them. What can you tell us about that as well?
See, this is nothing new. I mean, they have not done it for the first time. And they should have pricked our conscience long time back when they actually asked Americans for 8 F-16s to fight militants. Now, who are these militants? These militants are Pakistani citizens. And these are the people that they call the good Taliban. Oh, sorry, the bad Taliban. The Pakistanis call them the bad Taliban. So Pakistan, like for example, Mr. Sultan Ali mentioned Kashmir. I just want to draw a parallel. The Indian Army does operations in Kashmir, sir, in which they use light weapons like an AK-47 or maximum a rocket launcher. Pakistanis go using chemical weapons, they use artillery guns, they use fighter jets, they use helicopter gunships. This is like a full-fledged army assault on a civilian population. You see, if the terrorists are using AK-47s in Kashmir, we too are using AK-47s. It's a one-to-one fight. Here, it's a massive overkill. It's like killing a fly with a huge hammer. That is what the Pakistan, they raise villages to the ground.
Mr. Tariq Fateh was
Well, it's not just what they're doing on the battlefield. They picked up about 5,000 Baloch young political activists, killed them and dropped their bodies by helicopter in deep ravines in Balochistan. The curses coming out from the mothers of these kids is going to affect Pakistan. Upar andhera hai, andher hai, der nahi hai. I mean the other way around.
You know, Mr. Sultan Ali, in Pakistan, you'll of course deny all of this, but let me point out to you that the Pakistani Federal Minister of Human Rights itself came out with a figure saying that 935 dead bodies of Baloch political activists and suspected separatists have been found since the year 2011. Are you going to deny this as well?
Of course he
No, you see, whatever my minister says, he has every right to say that, and I'm sure he's saying it with
And if these are official
authority.
figures, 935 dead bodies, I'm inclined to believe Mr. Tariq Fateh saying that 5,000 people, you said, have been picked up, killed and dropped in the ravines of Balochistan. This is what you're doing over there. And you're talking about Kashmir,
Tariq
Mr.
Fateh
Sultan
was sitting
Ali.
in Balochistan and he was counting those bodies. This is the thing. If our minister says 935, you stretch it to 300,000. The problem is
No.
my dear.
Tariq Fateh is saying 5,000. Nobody's stretching it to 300,000.
Well, he said 300,000.
Don't manufacture
Bengalis.
facts
Even
and that too live on national television.
Okay. 300,000 he mentioned Bengalis. Even that has been, you see, denied by people like
By the
Sharmila
killers.
Bose in a book, Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
And what your
Yeah,
friend
written
said
by the
about-
ISI.
Written by the ISI. Sharmila Bose is an ISI agent.
She's
and what
the
are you, my dear
sister-in-law.
Tariq Fateh?
She's the sister-in-law of one of
God's
your
sake.
operatives.
She happens
We know the
to be
generals who
grandniece
accompanied her.
of
We know the Pakistani army generals who accompanied her in the research work. Please, leave it at that.
Okay,
you may be dumb Pakistani, but not all of us are. We left that country because of people like you.
Tariq Fateh, don't stretch it too far. Let's come back to the parallel with Kashmir.
Yeah, hang a few
What you're
more
doing with
people.
Oh, Tariq Fateh, please have a heart here. At least have the patience to listen to the other side also. Don't make it a monologue. Let's keep it as a dialogue. Listen to me. What I'm trying to say is that you are saying that it is an overkill. But you see, on one hand, you are talking about Pakistan not going hard on the terrorists. We lose 70,000 Pakistanis, and if we crack down on the terrorists, suddenly you say that it is an overkill. But look at the figures. Hasn't it brought down the acts of terrorism?
Mr. Sultan Ali, what rubbish are you talking about? You're using the terrorists, you're using the name of the terrorists on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, and instead killing the Pashtun people over there. The pictures that NewsX has shown of this family,
these pictures,
of
as I said,
Jamshed and his family,
they are Photoshop,
which is
they are
taken.
fake. No,
Hello, Mr.
let's
Sultan
talk about
Ali.
facts.
If you
Let's
want, I'll
talk-
WhatsApp the pictures to you. We put blurred on them because they're so horrible. There's no
But what
Photoshop
about the
over there.
70,000 people
Mr.
who have been
Sultan
killed in
Ali,
Pakistan?
their skin is coming
who
off.
killed them?
I've seen the original pictures. You can virtually see the insides of the skin. That's why we can't show it on national television. Hello, Mr. Sultan Ali. These are
Yes,
not
I'm here.
terrorists.
I'm listening
A
to you. I'm
12-year-old girl
listening
is
to
not
you.
a terrorist. Her mother's not a terrorist. The 18-year-old boy is not a
And what about
terrorist.
the innocent Kashmiri children who
Oh,
you're
now you're
blinding with
shifting
your
the
pellet
debate to
guns,
innocent
and you're saying you're
Kashmiri
using
children.
soft weapons. These are the
Yeah.
soft weapons. The Daily Guardian are talking
Major
about.
Arya,
The Daily
you want to come in
Guardian
on that?
took out a story.
He keeps trying to draw parallels with Kashmir.
See, I have already told you, Mr. Sultan Ali, these parallels of Kashmir don't cut any ice with anybody. There are two things that you need to understand. First of all, what was used in Kashmir was the bare minimum force. They were using real weapons. The government of India said you will not use real weapons, start using pellet guns. They went 3 degrees lower and started using pellet guns. Pakistan, on the other hand, against its population, actually requests a foreign power, the United States of America, to give them F-16s. You are comparing a pellet gun to an F-16 fighter aircraft, and then you want to say this on national television. Is this logical?
Yes, the pellet guns were used on the eyes of these innocent Kashmiris, and this is
I'm
not
so
my
sad.
report. This is
Sir,
of the Daily Guardian.
Sir, do you
300,000
even
young
know what a
Kashmiris
pellet gun is?
have
How
lost
can you
their
use it on the...
eyesight.
Sir,
I'm an Air Force officer, my dear. I know what a gun is and what an F-16 is.
okay, now
Please, do
let
not
me
try
give
to
you
teach me.
let me give you a very quick refresher course since you are an Air Force officer. A pellet gun is what is normally known in Hindi and Urdu as a 12 bore ki gun. All right, sir. It
As
has
a
got small
Baraborki gun, but look at the
Okay,
results.
now
Haven't you
listen
seen
to me.
the
Hold on,
social
hold on.
media images
Hold
of
on.
these young children?
Hold on. Most of these images have been manufactured and photoshopped in Rawalpindi because you have a 250-person call center there which does this 24/7. Okay. I know about it.
Yes,
so let
we
me tell you one
Photoshop,
thing more.
And your story is not Photoshop.
No,
Please,
your story has come out
what is
from inside
source for the-
Pakistan. Your story has come out
What
from
is
inside
source-
Pakistan. It is not for your story is real because it has come out from inside Pakistan.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me go to Professor
No, the
Madhav
story was
Nalapat.
also published
He's
in
the
the
editor
in
and
the
director of the
Guardian,
Sunday
which happens to
Guardian,
be
which
your
has
partner.
broken the story. Professor Nalapat, would you like to please respond to Mrs. Sultan Ali in Pakistan about this?
You know, Mr. Ali has pointed out about 3 million people coming from Afghan side of the border into Pakistan. Now, why have they come? They have come because of the war that was conducted in Afghanistan by the ISI. I mean, I would of course agree that the ISI conducted this war on the orders of CIA. And of course, once the war is over, the CIA went away. But the fact is, it was this 10 years of war in Afghanistan where a large number of people were radicalized. They were subjected to indoctrination which made them extreme Wahhabis and which made them frankly such terrible radicals that today this kind of radicalism is a danger to the whole world. So these 3 million people have also come frankly because of the activities of the army of Pakistan in Afghanistan. They have not come innocently, they have not come for nothing. They have come precisely because the Pakistan army unfortunately has developed a radical force, and inside the Pakistan army itself there are a large number of radicals. I am sure Mr. Ali knows that, but for obvious reasons he is not going to be able to reveal that.
Yeah. So Shadi Chari, I'm just coming to you next in half a minute, but first very quickly, Umar Daud Khattak, the Pakistani army has apparently been using chemical weapons on Pashtun people and poison gas on Baloch people. We are talking about that. But what is the danger that this could fall in the hands of terrorists who are patronized by the Pakistani army?
So what is the difference between Pakistan army and terrorists? Pakistan army is terrorists. They are army soldiers at daytime, at night they are Taliban.
Yes.
There is no difference between the two. The weapons
I
are
think the
already in the hands
Indians
of
don't
terrorists.
understand this.
The weapons are already.
Yeah, the Taliban, if you recall in Kunduz, when the Americans went in Afghanistan, there was an air corridor made between Kunduz and Peshawar, where 20,000 Taliban, that were Pakistan army troops, were airlifted out and American bombing stopped.
Yeah.
Even the Americans knew that the Taliban were actually daytime Pakistan army soldiers working over there. There were not any Afghans over there.
Yes.
Mullah Umar didn't come to rest in Quetta because Afghanistan had bad weather situation.
So Shadi Chari from the BJP, the Sunday Guardian has said today that Pakistan has been using chemical weapons on its people since the 1970s. My question to you that, why has nobody taken a stand on this for the last 40 years?
No, it's a serious. What happened? 21. We had a very serious situation even at that time in the eastern border, but to a very large extent, other major powers in Asia, especially Russia and China, China was to a very large extent passive at that time, and Russia was on our side. Only the US was against India getting involved in Bangladesh, so they had sent their 7th Fleet also to threaten India so that we should withdraw from our forces from Bangladesh, but we did not. So that's a different story. But today, if you see, with a very proactive China, which is interested strategically in Pakistan, which is also interested in defense, which is also interested in the economic corridor, is passing through areas which is what we call the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and downwards near the sea, where the Pakistan has an Indian Ocean water region, there it has got Gwadar. Now remember one thing, as Mr. Tariq Fateh referred, Baluchistan was not part of Pakistan in 1947. Baluchistan was the first country to become free when the British left. Therefore, we have a right to see to it that Baluchistan becomes an independent area. Otherwise, it will be strategically very different for us. So, what the government of India should do now is take the situation very seriously and put together a team under the National Security Advisor immediately and keep monitoring the situation on a day, ready to intervene if necessary with the help of the Western world, or if they are not with us, we should independently be able to carry out certain action in Baluchistan, Sindh and Waziristan. All these areas are very important. So what is important is we should have a coalition between Iran, Afghanistan, India and the rest of the SAARC countries minus Pakistan, so that we are able to build pressure on Pakistan, and we will have to do this from strategic point of view and also from the Asian peace perspective. If you want to grow as Asia, we will have to dismember Pakistan, and that is the only way we can survive in this area.
Okay, let me take this forward and put this to Professor Nalapat. Professor Nalapat, so what really, how would you summarize India's interests in Balochistan and the Pashtun areas on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border?
Well, India's interest is very clear. Yes. And India's interest, frankly, is that Pakistan become a normal state. A normal state is a state in which the civilian leadership has full control over the military. Whether it is China, whether it is India, whether the United States, in all these countries, the civilian leadership has full control over the military. In Pakistan, the military has full control over the civilian leadership. And from the 1980s, the military has actually understood that it is very profitable to go in for a very extreme form of radicalism. It has done that in Afghanistan, it is doing that in Kashmir, it is doing that in so many other theatres.
Yeah, but Professor Nalapat, Shadi Chari is shaking his head. He's saying that what you're saying is a pipe dream, and you heard him earlier. He said that India's basic interest probably now lies in simply dismembering Pakistan.
Well, I'd only like to point out to Mr. Chari that, look, this is a matter for the Pakistan people to decide.
Not only
One
India.
thing is very clear.
Not only India,
today Pakistan,
Pakistan
is being ruled by the army, and the army is being controlled by the Punjabis. So it is true that Pakistan is today a Punjabi-dominated society. There is no justice for the Pashtun. There is no justice for the Sindhi. There is no justice even for the Saraikis in the Punjab. There is certainly no justice for the Baloch. And this is the problem. So I can tell you that if this situation continues inside Pakistan itself, a process will begin, as was begun in Bangladesh, and that process will end the way it has ended with the creation of Bangladesh.
Tariq Fateh, let me just ask you, so in Pakistan we do have separatist movements already inside Balochistan and the Pashtun areas of the country, but what really are the strengths of these movements? How strong are they?
The strength of the movement primarily is that they come from the middle class.
Which movement are you talking about? Both of them? The Pashtun
liberation,
and Baloch?
The Balochistan Liberation Front, which is led by Dr. Allah Nazar, who Baloch, who is in the hills. He operates in the Avaran Makran area, where there is no traditional tribal system. It is a place where there's even a large African settler population and the Zikri population over there. They are up in arms for in a very different way. Also, unlike the previous 4 wars of liberation in Balochistan, this is the first time that the 4 different command centers. The Baloch Republican Army operates in the Bukti area. The UBA, which is the United Baloch Army, is primarily in the Murray areas, and the Bukti and Murray areas are on the northern side of Balochistan, which were part of British Balochistan. They were not even part of the state of Kalat. There, the movement for independence is beyond even the reach of the tribal Nawabs or Sardars or the leaders of the people. It is right down to at a school level where you go down and you will, the only sign of a Pakistani flag is at the Deputy Commissioner's office. Nobody anywhere in Balochistan can find a single Pakistani flag. When it is available, it is used to shine your shoes. That's what Balochistan is today. And that's what's happening in Pashtunistan. Let me add. I just want to add one thing. The war that Mr. Sultan Ali talks about was not to kill terrorists. It was to relieve pressure on ISIS supporters at that time so they could leave the Pakistani front and join Iraq, Syria's ISIS. The Chechens, Uzbeks, Tajiks have left that area under cover of Pakistan army action to go over there, while the Pashtuns did all became the victims of the Pakistani attacks.
Okay, you gave us a good summary of what's happening with the separatist movement in Balochistan. Umar Daud Khattak, how are you people dealing with the Pakistan army and ISI in the Pashtun areas of Pakistan?
You know, there are some disorganized groups. They are already giving them hard time, but still we don't have an organized...
Because the reports of Pashtun groups also fighting with each other over there. Fighting with each other.
Yes, with each other, because we have Islamist and secular groups.
And many of them have been radicalized as well.
Of course. And we don't have any organized armed struggle, and we are planning to launch a Pashtunistan Liberation Army, as Baloch Liberation Army is there.
You are planning to launch one?
Yes, we are planning to do one. And
but they will turn around and say that you are merely terrorists.
No, they are sons of Bacha Khan. You have to understand, India betrayed the Pashtuns in 1947, and India owes it to the people of Pashtunistan because it was a Congress-led government, and the people, the gurus who ran Delhi at the time, told Bacha Khan, and his words were, "Humko tum gidaron ke hawale karke ja rahe ho." That's what happened, and we will come back to India, you mark my word, if not next year, in 100 years. But there can be no Bharat without the Pashtuns. Trust me, Gandhar comes from Kandahar, Gandhari. It is not. The Bamiyan statues are Indian. They are not from some Mars that landed over there that the Taliban blew up. We are integral to what Hindustan and Indian civilization is, and we will not wait for Indian invitation to join India. We will come because India is our mother, whether you like it or not.
Mr. Sultan Ali in Pakistan, are you hearing that? And
Yes,
you
I'm
created
hearing
this,
that. Would you like
and you
to?
created
Would
this,
you like me
and
to?
will you accept that you people have created this by yourselves, gassing your own people, gassing the Pashtuns, poisoning the Baloch? You're supposedly your own people. They don't accept that they're part of you. You said that they're part of your own society, but this is how you treat your own people, like the Nazis did, like Mussolini did, like Saddam Hussein did. That's the Pakistani army.
Are you done with your tirade? Will you give me a chance now?
No, I'm only done with a small tirade because I know you're going to come up with a much longer one. Now, go ahead with your long tirade now. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to get into any tirade. What I'm going to say is that, you see, I have recently come back from a tour of Balochistan and watched Tariq Fatah says, sitting in the safe climes of Canada or wherever he is, that only the flag of the Deputy Commissioner is flying there. I mean, the flag of Pakistan is flying over the Deputy Commissioner's office. That is not true. I've gone and seen it with my own eyes. The fact is that, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Allow me to complete, then say your piece, please. Allow me to say that, you see, the China-Pakistan economic corridor is a fact. It is going to happen. And India is scared of it. And India is going to do anything to sabotage it, even use people like Tariq Fateh. But we have a special force to look after people. Dr. Allah Nazar, yes, he is a true factor which is a thorn on our side, but we can deal with that. But the fact is that the China-Pakistan economic corridor is going to come up whether India likes it or not. So please keep on dreaming about Pakistan's dismemberment. This will never happen. In the bargain, if you break up, I won't blame you.
Listen to me, Sultan. The Mukti Bahini got you, now the Bukti Bahini will get you.
Mrs. Sishadri.
Oh my dear, what was Mukti Bahini? It was a creation of India.
The Bukti
Bahini was... Your father Narendra Modi said it on the floor of the Bangladeshi parliament that India was responsible.
We are running out of time. Mr. Sultan Ali in Pakistan. You're saying, oh, India is very scared of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, and so we are doing all of this to sabotage that by inciting the people in Balochistan. Mr. Shishadri Chari from the BJP, I think he was shaking his head. What do you want to say to Mr. Sultan Ali, Mr. Chari?
You know,
yeah, I'm coming to you.
You know, but you know what Mr. Sultan Ali is saying is nothing but he is parroting the view of Islamabad. Actually, Pakistan has actually run out of its time. Pakistan has exhausted all the time that Muhammad Ali Jinnah gave it to Pakistan. He wanted Pakistan to be wound up even after 1.5 years, 2 years. He did not even survive for more than 1 year of Pakistan. Therefore, Pakistan has lost its script. And as far as this China-Pakistan corridor is, economic corridor is concerned, we are not bothered if China is able to act in Bangladesh. We are not bothered if China is doing business with Myanmar. We are not bothered if China is doing with Southeast Asia. We will not bother if China is doing business with Balochistan, Sindh, and also Northwest Frontier region, as long as they are part of India. As part of India or as part of independent country, we will invite China, Russia and other countries to do business there so that the economic development of these areas and the people take care. Therefore, Pakistan has no role at all in the geopolitical situation that is developing now. And I think instead of waiting for all this, Government of India should immediately recognize the government in exile of Balochistan, Sindh and Northwest Frontier immediately.
All right, okay. We've just got 1 minute left. Very, very quickly, 10 seconds to all our guests. What should India's position be going forward as far as the Pashtun and the Baloch struggle inside Pakistan is concerned? 10 seconds, every guest. Mr. Khattar, beginning with you.
You know, India has the moral responsibility to support Pashtuns and Baloch who are fighting for freedom against the apartheid and genocidal Pakistani state. And
5 seconds, please. Quickly, what should India do?
India should support the armed struggle of Pashtuns and Baloch.
Of both of them?
Of both of them, yeah.
Major Gaurav Arya.
I think India should lend political credibility and give political diplomatic support worldwide to all these movements inside Pakistan.
All right. Tariq Fateh.
L.K. Advani today said there is no Hind without Sindh. Settles it.
Professor Madhav Nalapad, India's position. What do you think our position should be on both these struggles going forward?
Well, I think India should give complete moral, political, diplomatic and other support for the human rights of the people of Pakistan who are today in a disadvantaged position because of the hegemony of one particular group of Pakistanis over everybody else. I think India should give the disadvantaged and oppressed people of Pakistan every support possible to ensure that they can have the freedom, the liberty, the democracy that all human beings should be given in abundance.
All right, so are we going to do that? Let's put that to Mrs. Seshadri Chari, because Seshadri ji, you're from the ruling party. Is India going to go ahead and do that? Final question, please.
No, it's not just being part of the ruling party.
All right, we've lost the line to Mrs. Seshadri
In
Chari.
pure and simple English language,
yes.
Government of India should recognize the government in exile of Balochistan, Sindh and Pashtunistan immediately.
All right, that's the first starting step. Vigorous debate. Thank you very much. We're going to wait to see how the government responds to this NewsX Sunday Guardian exclusive story about how the Pakistani army is gassing and using chemical weapons inside its own country against its own, or what it claims to be its own people. Leave it over there.